If you have your own domain name, you can brand all of your Kartra links and pages with it. The integration process does have some technicalities involved, but nothing to be scared of. Just make sure to follow this guide step by step. This entire guide is also provided in text form at documentation.kartra.com. Keep in mind, while the actual configuration may take 5 minutes, it might take up to 24 hours to be activated. In addition, if you're already hosting existing pages in your domain, or if it's already integrated with another third-party app, be aware that all existing content might cease to work. Once the integration is completed, Kartra will point your domain to your Kartra pages, membership portals, checkout pages, etc. So anything you might have previously hosted in your domain will likely not be accessible anymore. That being said, you can remove the Kartra integration at any time. Let's proceed. The first step of the configuration process is to decide whether you want to point your Kartra integration to the main domain or subdomains. Let's look at both, imagining you have 3 products for sale. If you choose only the main domain, your sales and checkout pages will look like this, with the specific information after the domain only. However, if you choose Use a Subdomain, the URLs can include a separate subdomain for sales versus checkout pages, like this. It's entirely optional, but some users argue that it helps keeping your site URL structure cleaner, and according to some experts, it yields some SEO benefits as well. The final option here is to select the favicon for your website, which is placed in the tab of browser windows as seen here. When you select your favicon, you are given the option of cropping the image before saving it. Click Change to accept your crop size and confirm when you are ready to move forward. Next, you need to point your Cname record to Kartra. The Cname is a record that has to be created in your domain registrar, which is the service managing your domain property and the domain name system. This Cname record is what's going to bind your domain with your Kartra account. So you will need to log into your domain registering service and create a new Cname record. Every registrar has a different interface, so it's difficult for us to navigate you from here, but chances are you should see a DNS management or domain management area. At any rate, if you ask their support team to show you how to create a Cname record, they will definitely be able to point you in the right direction. This new Cname record needs to target your desired subdomain to user.kartra.com. If you chose to integrate your main domain instead of using a subdomain, enter www as the subdomain or host instead of a chosen subdomain. Since my username is Elliot Franz, I enter elliotfranz.kartra.com. For the TTL value, use whatever default or automatic option they offer. You might already have a Cname configured for www or your desired subdomain, perhaps from a previous integration with another app like Kartra. In that case, you must delete it and create it anew. You cannot have 2 identical Cnames in order to avoid conflicts and malfunctions. The domain integration with your previous provider will stop working. If you're integrating with your main domain only, you will need to take another step. Kartra will be effectively using www as a mock or pseudo subdomain. For that reason, we need to make sure that if someone types in their browser yourdomain.com, they're redirected to www.yourdomain.com. This is called URL redirecting or URL forwarding, and your domain registrar is likely to also have this feature. Once again, if you ask their support team, they will point where you should find it in their interface. It should look more or less like this. Do not add anything to the subdomain or host field because we want to redirect the root, the main domain itself. Next, enter your domain as https://www.yourdomain.com. Make sure to use HTTPS as Kartra automatically provides secure connections. Finally, the configuration must be set to permanent redirect 301 and forward path. Once everything has been configured with your domain host, return to Kartra, check the option at the bottom of the window, and click Save. You can now set what page to use as your index page and what page to use as a 404 error page. After saving, you will see your domain in processing status. Your new DNS configuration might take up to 24 hours to propagate through the whole internet. Kartra automatically checks every few minutes to verify whether the process has been completed, in which case the status will change to connected. At this point, you'll have the green lights to use your domain within Kartra in its full glory. Once your custom domain is activated, you need to edit your individual Kartra pages, memberships, checkout pages, video pages, or anything else with a link in order to switch them from being hosted in Kartra to your domain. In the list of your pages, click through to get a link for the page, then simply click on the pencil icon to edit it. Select your domain in the drop-down menu, type your desired page name, and click Save. Now the page is live on your domain.